I guess that tends to lead to like companies' approaches to hiring and also retention within businesses. So, how has sort of the HR analytics changed the way organisations approach sort of talent acquisition and retention?
Yeah, I mean, you probably know better than me, Ben, being in this space particularly. But there's a lot of tools around talent acquisition, right? And as you know, that's often one of the most strategic areas in HR, right? Making sure you're really filling your company with the right types of people. There's a lot of, let's say, AI tools, analytics tools. I'm using AI and analytics a little bit interchangeably here, but there's a lot of tools in that space to help with recruiting, right? Tools which help recruiters find potential candidates on LinkedIn, for example, or tools that do CV screening for you and try to find good matches on a CV. Certainly in like mass hiring situations, now you can really do some interesting work on figuring out the exact right profile for a mass hiring position. So I'm thinking of call center agents or such, and you can really analyze what were the attributes of the people who I hired who were successful, right? And then go out and look for more of those types of people. And actually, I've had a lot of success with that type of analysis. Also, on the development side, you can really look at pipelines and you can really analyze the flow of people through organizations and how they progress. I did some interesting work for a sales organization where there was a perception that to get great salespeople, you have to go out in the market and you have to hire salespeople from other companies, for example. But when we looked at the pipeline and we looked at the expense of bringing in external salespeople from other companies, we actually found our most successful people, or at least the people with the highest return on investment, were those who've grown organically through the organization. So, this type of analysis can really dispel some of the hunches that the management can have. And I think that's one of the best things you can do, right? When you can really challenge an assumption and prove, if you like, that there's actually better ways of doing things. Your other question was retention. On retention, again, this was kind of an early use case. You saw a lot, 10, 15 years ago, people starting to talk about predictive algorithms for if someone is going to leave the company. In my experience, the reality is it's very hard to say that this person is going to leave and that person is not going to leave, right? Without incredibly intrusive data collection, which I've never seen, by the way, I think to predict at the individual level reliably is not realistic. What you can get at is what levers we have over retention and how we can vary the chance that someone leaves or doesn't leave, right? So what I mean by that is you can say, if we cut our bonus by 10%, our attrition will go up by 1%, right? That type of thing you can analyze and you can make valid predictions on. But to say, Ben's going to leave, but if I do this one thing for Ben, he'll stay, I think that's probably unlikely to work, would be my guess. But certainly the type of analysis I'm talking about on retention, on the levers, can yield some interesting results, right? I mean, it's quite interesting to know that there is a relationship between performance systems and retention, because there should be, right? Hopefully you retain the people who you think are good performers, and the people who you don't really want to retain leave, right? So that's probably an outcome that you want, and it's good to be able to actually measure that and measure how your performance system contributes towards that. Same kind of thing with engagement. I think analytics of survey results on engagement can also yield very good results or be used to identify problem managers and such who are drivers of disengagement within the organization, so that HR can actually act on that. That's also quite a powerful use case.
Yeah, no, I think definitely also familiar with talent acquisition side. I think it also can help out with companies like for a lot of metrics, like how long it took to hire. Because say if you had somebody leave, then you've got metrics on likelihood, how long it's going to take. And obviously, if you've got difficult to hire positions and it's a business critical role, obviously then you need to put the right solution in place to how can you speed that up. And obviously just to help, I guess, strategically plan as a business, because if it's a critical hire for your company and you've not got that in, either you're going to have to outsource that, and that's going to be an added cost. So it's definitely beneficial information there.